friends, this is my first video for my Simple Sentiments series, and in this series I will be showing you how to make basic cards using stamps, ink, and paper, and few embellishments and not too many fancy-pantsy techniques. These are great cards for brand new stampers who are learning how to stamp and maybe don't have a whole lot of products, and this is also a great reminder for those of us who have been stamping for a long time how nice and pretty a simple card can be, and these are great when we need a card in a hurry as well. So I'm going to show you some basic cards. In this particular video, these are one layer cards. So in this video my card bases are Fairy Vanilla and Whisper White. And these are just a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock cut down at the 5.5 mark, which will give us a card that measures 5.5 by 4.25. So the first card I'm going to do is using the Wetlands stamp set. All I'm going to use are my markers. So if you don't have a whole lot of ink pads, your best bet is to get some markers, because you can color in your images as well as use your markers direct onto your stamp, and you get a lot of color that way. The colors I'm using are Basic Black, Baked Brown Sugar, Always Artichoke, and Sahara Sand. Okay, I'm going to take my Baked Brown Sugar and I'm just going to go on top my goose. Now I'm going to take my Basic Black and do his neck and his head and his beak and his feet. Now I'm taking my Always Artichoke and I'm just coloring on the grass. And that's all there is to it. Now, in case some of that ink has dried, I'm going to huff on it with my breath just to re-moisten it before I stamp it. Push down nice and firm, don't wiggle it too much. And there's my image. So my markers did all the coloring for me. I am going to take my Sahara Sand and just color the inside of my little bird here. My Canada Goose. Now for the sentiment. I'm using Thank You for Your Kindness. I'm going to use my Baked Brown Sugar and my Always Artichoke. So I'm going to use my lighter color first. I'm going to use my Baked Brown Sugar and I'm going to color in the For Your Kindness. If I just wanted that expression, I could just stamp it. I've omitted the rest of the word because it's not inked. So that really gives you a lot of extra mileage out of your stamps. Next, I'm going to go in with my Always Artichoke. And again, I'm going to huff on it to re-moisten any ink that may have dried before I stamp it. And there you go. That is card number one. Really fast, really easy. No layering, and you have a beautiful card to give to somebody special. For the second card, we're doing again a one layer card. We're using our Fairy Vanilla this time, and we're using the stamp set called Giggle Greetings, and we are going to use this cute little dog, which I have right here. Now we are going to stamp him in Black Stays On. Okay, there's my image. Now we are going to go ahead and color him, and I'm going to use the soft suede ink pad. Now I'm squeezing the ink so that the ink pad pushes on the lid, and then I have that puddle of ink. Okay, and I'm going to use my aqua painter for this. You get two of these aqua painters together in a package, and all you do is you unscrew the lid, you fill this container up with water, and it's basically a water brush without having to have a glass separate with water. It's already in the handle there. And then you just squeeze out your water And once you get that, you dip into your color and you're ready to go. I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm using Soft Sky, and I just want to go around the image because it'll add some dimension, a bit of a shadow. Okay. And what I'm doing too is in between colors I just have a scrap rag and I'm just going back and forth until that comes out clean. I'm going to go back into my coloring here and I'm just going to add some highlights. I'm using Blushing Bride for his tongue. That's it. That's another quick card. I'm going to show you something else that you can do just to kick this card up a notch, just a tiny bit. I have a second one here where I've done exactly the same thing. The only thing I haven't done is colored the dog. I've just colored the outside with my blue. But I have stamped my dog on some scrap paper and colored him in. And I've just put some dimensionals on him. And then I'm just going to pop them on. So that's really fun because it gives you sort of like a 3D effect. For my last one layer card, we are using some Whisper White, and this time I'm using Stippled Blossoms. This is one of my all-time favorite stamp sets. This is a two-step stamping set, and what that means is you need to use the two images to make the one. So this is your solid image and your outline image. These are really easy to use and stunning results when you're done. Now, let me see, we're going to start with our flower first. You can go ahead and just eyeball these when you stamp them, or you could use the Stamp-a-ma-jig. Now this is a tool that you shouldn't be intimidated by. I know some of my stampers were initially not sure how to use it or frustrated because they couldn't figure it out, but this is a really easy tool to use and I use it quite often. So I'm going to show you how to use it. Now, the colors I am using are Melon Mambo and Strawberry Slush. I want my outline to be in the darker, so I'm using Melon Mambo. So I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. I have my plastic tucked into the corner of my handle. Some people are more comfortable using the handle down at the end. It's whatever you prefer. I've just always usually used it from the top. Once my plastic is tucked into the corner, I'm going to take my stamp and tuck that into the corner of the handle and push down, and this is what I have. Set that aside. We're going to come back to this card, and I'm now using my Strawberry Slush. I'm inking up my solid stamp, pushing it down. And I'm not going to re-ink it. I'm just going to stamp it again. And stamp it again right there. I'm going to grab my Melon Mambo now. And I'm going to position this on top of my image. Place my handle so that the plastic is back in the corner and stamp down. So I now have the outline on top of my flower. And again, I'm not going to re-ink it. I'm just going to stamp right on top. and again. And if you don't have a Stamp-a-ma-jig and you eyeball this, honestly, it's still gonna look really good, I promise. See how you get the different shades? Now we're going to do the same thing with the leaves, and this time we're going to use the Old Olive for our solid color. And I want to leave just in this corner. I love this stamp. All right. Now I'm going to take my Mossy Meadow, ink it up, grab my Stamp-a-ma-jig again, line it on top of the leaves, move my plastic, stamp down. Again, you have your definition now. I'm going to do it again, and I didn't re-ink for this particular one. Actually, I'm going to use this one here, and I'll just eyeball it. I'm going to re-ink. Eyeball it. And then this one, I will position it on. Very, very pretty. Now we need a sentiment. Now we're going to use the Really Good Greetings, and I'm going to use the expression, everything will be okay, even if we can't see what okay is yet. And I'm choosing that stamp for a friend that I know is going through a difficult time. And that's the beauty of stamping, because we can make cards exactly as we need them when we need them. I'm just going to stamp it right down. And there's my card. So there you have it, my friends. Really easy one-layer cards using just your stamps, ink, and paper. And again, for this one, if you wanted to kick it up a notch, you could just cut out your image and stick them on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. You could even do the same thing for your Canada Goose or for your flowers, or you can just keep it extra simple and fast. So I hope you enjoyed those. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again. Happy stamping!